Hello. I'm back with another video. I don't know why I do all this stuff. It's so, I don't know. Put a camera in front of somebody and they always start to act a bit more odd than normal. Yeah, let me relax. Yeah, so anyway, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for clicking play and to watching me waffle on again. I hope you enjoyed my last video. This video is about the impact of childhood trauma and the impact of keeping secrets and how damaging that is to a child and how damaging that is in a long-term sense. So let's start from the basics, I guess. The impact of childhood trauma is one of those things that is unraveling and unraveling as time goes on. I mean, we've got a wealth of information everywhere now about childhood trauma and the different types of trauma that you can go through and how it can affect you. And I do believe that the earlier that you get help, the better, because then you can unlearn some of the things that your brain is keeping hold of, and start to change the way you think about some of those things. However, if you didn't get that help as a young person, those things will be fully embedded into how you see things and how you believe things are and how you perceive things. They basically become your belief system, and that's a lot harder to change and a lot of a much longer road to take. And personally for me, I think the journey of overcoming childhood trauma is a lifelong one. I don't think it's one that you reach the end of and then you're like, I'm cured, I'm better, I'm fine. It's one of those things that you just start to come to terms with. And another reason why I think it's a long road is that you don't know what your triggers are until you meet them. So you can think, oh, you can go through therapy, you kind of see what, the effect trauma's had on you, and you can go and have therapy and you can go and address those things and think that everything's all good again. And then you meet a trigger that you've never met before. And you think, oh my God, this is, you react to it and it brings all this stuff rushing back to you and you're triggered. And that's the problem with childhood trauma. You're constantly unlearning and relearning things to be able to cope and to manage in a normal world. I mean, I do believe that we need to become very much more trauma educated, because then I think we'd understand each other a lot better. We'd understand why people act the way they do and why a lot of people are in some of the situations that they are. And a lot of it, not all the time, some people are just in situations because some of the choices that they made. However, for many people, a lot of it can be traced back to a real tough childhood where they have not been taught healthier ways of doing things. And I can attest to that. As much as I come across a certain way and I do certain, I'm relatively quite a balanced person, for lack of a better word, I suppose. The trauma that I had has affected me my whole life, and there's people that will have known me in different areas of my life that could say certain things based on my behaviours at the time, and a lot of it was going back to things that I just didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know any better. So I was acting from a place of where I knew, and it goes back to that, when you know better, you do better. And that's all you can do. When you know better, you do better. And it literally is as simple as that. You can't change the past. You can't change some of the things you do. And, you know, this is something I'm constantly having to tell myself, because I am, you know, I'm a massive critique of myself. You know, I'm not great on self-praise. Yeah, so it's constant. It's a battle. I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I battle with all the time. And, I think it's really important for us to understand how trauma is just one of those things that you can learn you can learn to manage, you can learn to overcome, you know, through self-care, through experiences that show you that life can be different, from meeting people that are examples of that, people that show belief in you and encourage you and understand the things that you've been through, and actively, you know, root for you to be in a different place. And all those things can make a difference in how we transform such an experience into something better. It is an ongoing road, and like I've always said, this therapy is something that helps, but it's something that doesn't, you know, transform and change people, because I truly believe that trauma is one of those things that it's an ongoing unlearning process that you will go through throughout your whole life. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I have referred to childhood trauma as a life sentence sometimes, because, again, like I said, triggers. You don't know them till you meet them. You can't pick out your triggers. You don't know what they are till you've met them. Obviously now, with more research and knowledge about how things are, you know, childhood trauma, how, you know, what those things are and how they have typically affected a lot of people. Of course, you can now say, set a lot of those things and say, well, that's how they might act. That might be how they act. However, there's a lot of things that you won't know till you come across it. I'll give you an example. I used to have issues with having a male boss. I did not like it. I used to find it threatening. I used to find it uncomfortable, and I didn't react well, and I used to implode whenever I got any criticism from him, and I was always on the defensive. And it wasn't till he pulled me aside one day and was like, Tasha, you know what you've done, you know, something's changed. You know, when you had your interview, you came across so well. You know, I know you've got it in you to do this job really well, but there's just a barrier, and I want to know you better. I want to know more about you. And he took me out for a drink, and we just sat down, and he made me feel really safe to talk to him. So I opened up to him about my childhood, and he totally got it. He got it straight away and was like, I completely understand you now. I know how better to work with you. And I think if people did this more often, we'd all get along better. But we're so quick to just dismiss people, and I get that sometimes people just have to you know, to just go. Some things aren't to be tolerated and to be, you know, to do that with. However, a lot of the time, if we just had a conversation, things would work out better. But there are factors around those things. So I'm not just saying have a conversation with somebody who just physically hurt you or something like that. You know, it all just depends. The other thing that I wanted to touch upon is the impact of keeping secrets. Now, in terms of the world of domestic violence and you know, other types of abuse, but specifically I'm speaking about domestic violence, you are a keeper of secrets. You're a keeper of adult secrets. I couldn't get my sorry. You're a keeper of adult secrets. And as a child, that forms how you work with anything. So if somebody tells you something, you hold on to it and you just don't say it, and you hold a lot of responsibility within yourself with that information, and you're scared to speak out the truth about anything, because you are the keeper of secrets and things that could lead to the danger of, or the pain and hurt of other people. And this has such a tumbleweed effect. Tumbleweed's not the wrong, a roller coaster effect, because it then rolls into other parts of your lives where you should probably be speaking up about things, and you just decide not to, because you are always thinking about how it's going to affect somebody else, or you don't want to hurt somebody for speaking out about something, or you don't want to get somebody into trouble, or you're just always thinking way ahead of the situation at hand, because we are always looking out for danger, or we don't want to get ourselves into trouble or other people into trouble. And I'll give you a better example of this. When I was young, when I was a child, the perpetrator's dad, we were at his house, and he came up to me and he said, "Oh, does he hit your mum?" And I remember just being thrown when he asked me that, and I kind of went from two places. I remember thinking, if I say yes, maybe we'll be saved and we'll be okay, and he'll get into trouble for everything that he's doing to us. And then another part of me went, no, if you say yes, you're going to get into more trouble. You're going to go through more stuff. Your mum's going to get hurt more. You're going to get hurt more. You're going to be in more danger. Coming from a household where you are taught to fear everything, I went with, we're going to get in more trouble if I say yes. And I said, no, he doesn't hit her. Everything's fine at home. Biggest lie I've ever told. Biggest, and a lie that will probably haunt me for the rest of my life, if I'm honest, because it came back to bite us. When my mum and I finally fled the violence, and she started speaking out about her experience, it got back to them, and they said, oh, well, Natasha said that it's not, he doesn't hit her. It's not true. She's lying. And obviously that caused them to really attack my mum, and it was horrible. I heard all of that. His family came to find us where we were, and absolutely laid into my mum, because I had spoken, and I had essentially kept a lie to protect people, and it backfired. So as a child, that taught me was that just to not speak out about anything, not to tell the truth about anything, not to say anything, just to tell you what I think you need to hear. What I perceive from what I feel from you, what I've gathered from you, how you've approached me. I'm just going to tell you what I think you want to know, not the truth, not what's going to make the situation better. I'm just going to go for everything from that place. And that got me into loads of trouble. My God, loads of trouble. And I was forever trying to dig myself out of things, because I was constantly saying the wrong thing, or holding the wrong secret, or trying to protect everybody. And it blew up in my face so many times. There's so many situations where I could have ran back and gone, I did this because I want to protect you and you and you. And I've ended up looking like the worst person in the world because of this. Just because I've tried to protect so many people at once. And sometimes as well, it's because my incessant need to be liked has also come into play, and I've not wanted to hurt people's feelings. I've just kind of wanted to appease them, and for them to like me and be like, she's all right, she's nice, I like her, which filled the gap of self-love that I wasn't giving myself. And yeah, it's such a difficult thing, and it's such a conflicting thing. And the only thing that I can really say about that now is that the truth definitely just sets you free. It really does. It might not give you all your, you might not find the most friends through that. You might not, yeah, you might not find the most friends through that. You might not keep everybody happy. It might not be what everybody wants to hear. However, you'll be living in your truth if you just tell the truth. And that's all I can say. You will have a clear conscience. You will never be thinking, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I need to cover for that now. You will know that you've just spoke your truth at that given time. So speak your truth. Even when your voice shakes, even when it seems scary, speak your truth. It's not worth it. It's truly not worth it. And I hope if anybody's watching this and they are fearing speaking their truth or holding something back to protect somebody else, don't do it. It will eat you up. You will not be able to rest. You will not be able to have a clear conscience. It will always be at the back of your mind, and you will always be thinking of a way to cover for that moment. Have a clear conscience and just say it. And again, whether it appeases people, makes them feel happy, that's not your business. What is your business is how you feel about yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope it's helped. It helps people that need to know a bit more about childhood trauma and some of the things that we go through, and I hope it helps anybody that has been through childhood trauma, and it is a comfort to know that you're not alone in this, and I understand the long road that we are all going through together. So I'll see you in the next video, and please leave your comments, please share the video. Yeah, we're all in this together. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.